Alright guys, so if you're looking for a good long range option after the mid-season update, I've got the best assault rifle that you could be using according to true game data. The AR that I'm talking about is the Nikita. It's been the best so far for Season 5, and it never got touched in the update. According to true game data, the Nikita comes in first for time to kill and range. I've got it compared to almost all the top tier ARs, including the Grau, Vargo, Grav, Automaton, KGM-40, Vargo S, Cooper Carbine, and the STG, and then after the fact, I've also added the M13 and the AS-44 as well. The Nikita beats all the other assault rifles when it comes to TTK and range, getting below a 750 millisecond time to kill if you land all your shots out to around 44 meters. It beats all the other ARs listed no matter where you land your shots on the body, with the only exception being headshots, where the Grau beats it by a couple of milliseconds, which is basically a tie. Now, how you want to build this gun is for recoil control, focusing mainly on initial recoil, horizontal recoil, and recoil recovery. This gun can get really snaky if you don't build it with that in mind, making it a lot harder to land shots at range. Now, I've spent a lot of time testing different builds, and this seems to be the best for recovery and getting rid of that snaking motion. If you build it exactly like I'm going to show you, it's not that hard to use. Now, I will say you are going to have to control this gun a little bit more than you would some of the other ARs, but I've got a special attachment you can put on that will make it a lot easier, especially at range. Okay, so you're going to want the MX silencer, the Empress 613mm barrel, the Slate 3.25 custom, and I'm actually going to come back and talk more about that at the end. For the stock, you want the Empress AVT RS for initial firing recoil control, and then Brace for initial firing recoil control. On hand, and then you want granular grip for recoil recovery. Out of all of them that I tried, this seems to help the most with pulling that initial recoil back down. Lengthen for ammunition, and then you want the 6.5 Shakura 60 round drum. The 50 round mag does give you a couple milliseconds faster on a TTK, but the recoil is a little bit harder to control. I found it's a lot easier to land shots with the 60 round drum, especially at range. Now, if you don't have it leveled up enough, you can start with the 50 rounds. It definitely fries. You're just going to have to control the recoil a bit more. And then lastly, you're going to want the bipod for the underbarrel. This attachment's what's really going to help you at long range. Anytime you're trying to shoot someone at a further distance, all you need to do is crouch or go prone, and it'll make controlling the recoil on this gun a lot easier, especially if it's a situation where you can't mount. You'll notice this gun's much easier to control with this attachment. Now, quickly getting back to the optic, after the first Season 5 update, they nerfed the 3 to 6 and the 4 to 8 times, and they added visual recoil and glint, making it much easier to get spotted by your opponents whenever you're aiming down sight. Now, I've tried a bunch of different options, and for me, the 1229/3.25 custom, it just seems to be the best option when it comes to a gun like this, because this optic actually has some accuracy and recoil control that's built right into it. Now, with this build, the recoil is pretty straightforward. You just want to pull down a little bit with your right stick, and if you notice it starts to drift right a little bit, just move your stick slightly to the left as you're pulling down. It's pretty easy to land shots out to mid-range with this gun, but anything longer you do want to try to mount when you can, or at least crouch with the bipod. Now, if you're someone who likes to fight at super long range, you might want to go with something like the Vargo or the Grau that has a little bit less recoil. Alright guys, so if you haven't tried the Nikita yet, give it a shot. It's an absolute monster when it comes to TTK. I'm actually surprised it survived the mid-season update. Maybe they figure because of the recoil it balances out. Just fire some shots in pregame so you can get a feel for controlling it. And then one more thing, I've seen a few of the guys that got to play Warzone 2.0 early. They said that the guns that they were using in the game actually had quite a bit of recoil, and they said it's not going to be like how it's been. There's not going to be many guns that can just laser people across the map. Players are going to actually have to control the recoil if they want to be accurate and land their shots. So practicing with guns like the Nikita, it might be a good way of getting ready for the new game. If you found this video helpful, drop a like, follow me over on Twitter to stay up to date on everything Warzone and Warzone 2, and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more short, straight to the point videos like this. I'll catch you next time, and if not, kick rocks. Peace.
Kick rocks, biatch!